First, a tip on recognizing limiting reagent problems. This is a limiting reagent problem. We can tell because we're given amounts of two different reagents. We're told how much aluminum we have and how much oxygen. Any stoichiometry problem must have a balanced chemical equation. So we're going to have to balance this chemical equation before we start. Looking at it, I can see oxygen in 2's here, 3's here. So to balance this, I want 6 oxygen atoms on each side, and we accomplish that by having 3 oxygen molecules and 2 aluminum oxides. And that means we have 4 aluminums on the product side, so we need 4 on the reactant side. So we're balanced. Now we need to determine the limiting reagent. We take each reagent and determine how much product we can generate if all of that reagent were consumed. For each of these, we need a conversion factor that we obtain from the balanced chemical equation. In this first problem, we see we want to cancel out moles of aluminum. So we write aluminum with its coefficient from the balanced chemical equation in the denominator, and the numerator is our product with its coefficient from the balanced chemical equation. And that way, we cancel out moles of aluminum, and we do the same for the second reagent. So we have the amounts of product that can be generated if all of the aluminum is consumed and if all of the oxygen is consumed. For the max product, we choose the smaller of the two values. Again, we choose the smaller of the two amounts because we would never get to this other product before we'd run out of the limiting reagent. The reagent that leads to the max product is our limiting reagent. So we're going to label the aluminum limiting reagent. Oxygen is our excess reagent. Now finally we can worry about sig figs because we've gotten to our final answer. We focus on the calculation that leads to our answer. So we have 3 sig figs here. This is an exact number, so it's not going to impact sig figs. So we want to write our answer with 3 sig figs. So here we have to add a 0. So our final answer is 0.350 moles. Okay, note we ignore the calculation that does not lead to the correct answer. This number is not going to impact the sig figs in our final answer because that's not our final answer. We look at the sig figs of the numbers that lead to our final answer.